A good late afternoon and thanks for joining us. I'm Sage. You're watching Kalkine TV live from Sydney. This is the last show of the day, The Last Trade. There's no better way to wind down the day than with today's market close commentary. So let's dive straight in. The Australian shares closed higher for the second straight session on Thursday as investors reacted positively to the US Fed monetary policy announcement. The market gains were driven by a rally in the technology shares that took cues from the US counterparts. However, broad-based selling in the energy stocks such as Woodside, Petroleum and Beach Energy limited market gains. The benchmark ASX 200 index closed 35.30 points or 0.48% higher. The benchmark opened higher today following strong finish at Wall Street in the overnight trade. And on the sectoral front, 7 of 11 indices closed in a positive terrain. The tech sector hogged the limelight with 0.8% gains, tracking the overnight gains in the tech-heavy Nasdaq composite. AI data developer Appen, fintech major Afterpay were among the notable gainers. Financial sector was the top performer with 0.9% gains, with the big four banks, Westpac, Commonwealth Bank, ANZ Bank and NAB ending higher. Among others, AREITs, healthcare, telecom, consumer staples and industrial sectors also witnessed buying activities. And meanwhile, the energy sector emerged as the biggest loser, falling 2.1% due to a fall in the crude oil prices. Oil prices tumbled to 4-week lows on Wednesday due to higher than expected crude oil inventories in the US. Traders kept an eye on the organisation of the petroleum exporting countries and its allies, led by Russian meeting results scheduled today. Let's now take a look at the top gainers and losers of the day, and the biggest gainer on the ASX pack was insurance company NIB, which rose 5.9% on robust September quarter earnings. Some of the other top performers were gold producer Chalice Mining, agro business New Farm, corporate bookmaker PointsBet and building products producer CSR. On the losing side, Aussie's largest pizza chain operator Domino's Pizza Enterprises topped the losers chart by falling 18.6%. Some of the other top laggards were food beverage business Ingham's Group, software business Tyro Payments, oil producers Beach Energy and iron ore producer Champion Iron. Let's now shift the lens over to the stocks that grabbed the investors' attention today. And first on the list was the newly listed company Vulcan Steel, which had a muted debut on the domestic exchange. The stock price of steel distributor gained as much as 1.4% to reach $7.20 Australian against the listing price of $7.10 apiece. The stock was also listed on the New Zealand Stock Exchange, but the ASX was its primary listing. The company raised 371.6 million Australian dollars in its IPO by sell-off of stake by existing shareholders. And shares of CIMIC traded marginally lower even after the group's engineering arm UGL bagged a multi-year oil and gas maintenance contract. UGL has secured a long-term contract with Chevron Australia, which is expected to generate a revenue of 40 million Australian dollars per year for up to 10 years. The work under the contract is expected to begin this month. And shares of CSR gained as much as 3.5% after building products producer released the earnings report for the half year ended 30th September 2021. The net profit after tax rose 30% compared to the prior year period. The company also declared an interim dividend of 13.5 cents per share, which was at the top end of CSR's dividend policy. And now let's take a small break, but please stay tuned with me as I'll be back with more trending market updates. Property by Kalkine. Looking for a dream home? Well, that may sound easy, but it isn't. And from looking for a property that is the right fit for you in terms of cost and other factors, to zeroing down on the right mortgage plan, there are various aspects to consider. And for the latest lowdown on the property market, tune in on Kalkine TV with me, Sage. I will give the latest updates on the property market as well as real estate stocks to help you make the right decision. Keep watching Property with Kalkine. Hello, welcome back. Sage here with the market close commentary for Kalkine TV. And let us look at some more stocks that grab the investors' attention today. Shares of Domino's Pizza Enterprises plunged nearly 17% during the session on falling sales from its Japanese business, as well as higher costs. The company in its annual general meeting stated that business in Japan was impacted by the closure of restaurants in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic. The pizza chain operator said that due to current negative sales and the material contribution of the Christmas trading period, the management is unable to forecast whether financial year 22 Japanese sales will surpass previous year's figures. Shares of Afterpay climbed 2.5% in the intraday trade as shareholders of US payments major Square approved the issuance of shares to acquire Australia's largest buy now, pay later company. The company, in an exchange filing, said Square shareholders had given the nod to the issuance of the Square Class A common stock to Afterpay shareholders, as per the deal signed in August last year. As many as 862 million Square shareholders voted in favour of the blockbuster deal, as 746,000 against it. Shares of Adbury rose around 3% during the day after the cement manufacturer unveiled the plan to acquire Zanow's concrete and quarries business for 58 million Australian dollars. The company informed its shareholders this morning that it had inked a pact to purchase Zanow's concrete and quarries business in Queensland. Zanow's runs 2 concrete plants, a sand and gravel quarry and a hard rock quarry in the western area of Brisbane. Shares of Freedom Foods Groups traded flat after it announced to divest its specialty seafood business to the Australian family-owned Tempo Group. The company engaged in sourcing, manufacturing, sale, marketing and distribution of dairy and nutritionals products will raise 3 million Australian dollars via a disinvestment. The disinvestment is slated to be completed on the 12th of November 2021. And moving on now to the next segment, where we take a look east towards the Asian markets performance. And shares in Asia Pacific region were trading higher on Thursday following strong finish at Wall Street in the overnight trade. The market reacted positively to the US Federal Reserve's monetary policy announcement, and the stock markets in India, BSE Sensex and NSE remained closed on the eve of Diwali, Bali Pratipada festival. The exchanges will have a short ceremonial Muhurat trading in the evening today, while it will be shut on Friday. And Japan's Nikkei leads the gains in the region market as it surged nearly 0.8%, extending the sharp gains in the previous session. The market sentiment was boosted by macro data, which showed that Japan's October services activity expanded for the first time in almost 2 years. In South Korea's Kospi traded higher by 0.4% after nose-diving nearly 1.5% in the previous session. Hong Kong's Hang Seng also climbed 0.25%. Recouping some of last session's losses, and in a similar fashion, China's Shanghai Composite climbed 0.6%, while Indonesia's Jakarta Composite surged 0.8%. Thailand's SET Composite also rose by 0.5%, while the weighted index in Taiwan traded marginally lower. Now, in this last segment of the show, let's have a quick look at the crypto market's performance. The cryptocurrencies were trading mixed during the Asian trading hour on Thursday as investors digested the US Federal Reserve's policy announcements. The total market cap of global cryptocurrency dropped marginally by 0.1% over the last day's trade. However, the market volume surged 4.5% during the last 24 hours trade, and the price of Bitcoin, the world's largest cryptocurrency by market capitalisation, traded lower by 1.2%. The most popular crypto has climbed over 6% in the past 1 week. And Ether, the world's second largest crypto, traded 0.7% lower, outperforming Bitcoin. The coin linked to Ethereum blockchain has surged nearly 14% over the last 1 week. And the meme stock Dogecoin traded 0.7% lower, while Shiba Inu plunged 11.5% in the past 24 hours trade. Among major cryptocurrencies that gained values today, XRP climbed nearly 7%. The price of Cardano, the third largest cryptocurrency by market cap, also gained over 4%. And other digital assets that rose today included Elrond, Binance Coin, Solana, Uniswap, Litecoin, Stellar and Algorand. Well, that's a wrap, folks, and hope you found the market closing commentary informative. We will be back on tomorrow, live from Sydney at 9:30 in the morning, with the first report on the pre-market scenario. Take care, stay safe. This is Sage signing off.